Smoke. When there's smoke, then there's fire. When there's thread, then we strike. We are there. There's smoke. Ghosts. Unexplained, unexplored. We suppress and restore, and we move like we're ghosts. Yeah, dangers only we can know. Are running wild, are running wild. Unstoppable like the sky, like they are. Supernatural, blazing fires. Oh, we can't just let it burn. The world is waiting for someone or something to come and extinguish the flames. So we protect and serve, laying our lives on the line to confine them, united, secure and contained. Protocol classified. When there's breach, we're denied. Who will take back control and hold? Time is now, do or die, lock it down, mobilize. Here we hold the line before the fire takes its toll. We can't just let it burn. The world is waiting for someone or something to come and extinguish the flames. So we protect and serve, laying our lives on the line to confine them, united, secure and contained. If you don't know it exists, it's like the fire was never lit. We can't just let it burn. The world is waiting for someone or something to come and extinguish the flames. So we protect and serve, laying our lives on the line to confine them, united, secure and contained. Whoa, 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 secure and contained. Whoa,
Hey, welcome to another Call of Cthulhu game set in the SCP universe. I'm your host, Dr. Crow, and welcome to my wonderful players.
Hello, everyone, and hello, chat.
Yes, and hello to the wonderful, wonderful chat. I see Nick Brown and Occupation Army out there. It's good to see you. Good to see you. How's everybody doing? We doing okay?
I'm doing pretty good. Was definitely looking forward to today.
Yeah, same.
Post-vaccination exhaustion, so if I start getting really loopy, I'll just play it into character.
Oh, no, you got the vaccine. Oh. All right. No, I don't. That's a whole different thing. No. So, for those of you who don't know, this is the first game of our second SCP campaigns. Whole new cast of characters. I miss Dr. Mallard. Don't worry. He's totally not here anymore. We're dealing with Jack Moore. So, do you guys want to do a quick introduction of your characters? Seeing how this is the first official game.
If everyone else wants to, sure.
All right, don't everybody jump at the chance. Keep your enthusiasm down. I know. X, how about you start us off then?
Well, I am Travis Caspian. I've had a graduate degree in computer science, but that didn't really quite go anywhere. And I was just working at Starbucks when someone from the foundation was like, "Hey, you're clear. How would you like to, dust off that keyboard and come work for us?" And I could definitely use the money, so I accepted. And then I realized where I was. Like, okay, so that's my character, just kind of getting used to the existential crisis.
He accidentally went to work for one of their front companies like Stan's Coffee and Pastries.
or something like that. I don't know.
Alrighty then, I'll go next.
Yay!
So, my character's name is Eloise. She's the daughter of a weak reality bender who unfortunately was killed when she was very young. But during the event that led to her death, her mom managed to get her through a waygate into the Wanderer's Library, where she grew up and eventually ended up signing a contract with the Foundation to provide them with information for 5 years, which she is kind of coming close to the end of.
Yes. Heavy ties to the Wanderer's Library and the Serpent's Hand faction.
Yes, her mother was also a member of the Serpent's Hand, although she does not know that. Oh, and she has a mark on her wrist that is binding any powers that she herself would have.
What's the mark look like?
Actually I haven't designed it yet. So let's see. It's supposed to be for the word bound, so I'm going to go with it looks like 2 chain links with a dot in the middle of them.
All right. All right. How about you, Drake?
Blake Delancey. He's the son of previous character played by me, Alexander Delancey, and didn't really know his dad for fairly obvious reasons. And he's coming in here into Site 19, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and is haunted by these flashes in his mind, and he's not quite sure why.
Ooh. Deep mysteries. And how about you, Amish man?
Amish?
Jack,
What's wrong? Jack.
He just said BRB in private chat.
Oh.
Okay.
I need Amish. Why do you always have to leave like right as soon as I need you?
Well, he's off to go hunt big game and punch an elephant in the taint or something. I don't know. He's off to be a man.
Sorry about
that. So, Site 19. You're not quite exactly sure where you're at. However, due to seeing very particular plant life, you are aware you're in the Mojave Desert. No signs of civilization as far as the eye can see, except for a couple of strange buildings that are cordoned off as special military barracks for the U.S. government. But deep below the surface hides the secret of a massive complex holding thousands of dangerous and supernatural and paranormal objects. The private chat is just lighting up over here. Amish is having trouble with microphone.
Hello, anyone?
Hey, there he is.
I don't know why no one heard me earlier.
You have to remember to press unmute.
Yes, I'm more of that. Thank you, Crow.
You're welcome. Just making sure.
Is your microphone plugged in?
No, it's
That
not.
is
That's why you can't hear me.
That is very much common mistake.
So you want to introduce us to your character real quick?
I'll save you the spare of going through the full speech this time. Jack Moore, adventurer extraordinaire, came to the SCP after doing one of his recent adventures after finding another job in the Bulletin to a bunch of armed guys in SCP uniforms, and Dr. Cleft there, a quote-unquote offering Ballard an opportunity to work for the Foundation.
Yeah, but who is Jack Moore?
Jack Moore he's basically just an adventurer. He started off as simple enough as doing archaeology and finding skeletons and stuff like that, but that became too boring for him. He wanted to do more and try to discover more. And off of some colleagues and some research, he discovered clues that would lead him to the Lost Zambuku tribe to help him stake his name. And then one thing led to another, which led to his biggest claim of fame, the discovery of the lost city of Atlantis.
Yay!
And since he's worked with the Foundation, he's been doing all sorts of various good for the Foundation, only not as well-renowned as he might like it, because the Foundation, of course, snuffs out any... The Foundation doesn't want the stuff that he finds to go out into the world for various reasons.
So you basically go out. You're the guy they send out to catch stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I catch SCPs, I find hidden locations that they thought was long gone, and then they proceed to hide it away in a warehouse.
Awesome. So, Site 19 is this massive complex buried deep beneath the earth, holding well over 1,000 different objects, all of which are incredibly dangerous to human life in some way or another. You guys are now waking up early in the morning. What is the sort of morning rituals and prep that you usually do to get ready for your day?
Or do we all have a dorm like last time?
Each of you have your own separate dorm because you are level 3 personnel now.
Let the good times roll.
Okay, so Eloise is probably gonna take some dye and touch up her roots. Probably takes quite a bit of maintenance to keep her hair as pink as it is. And then she's gonna tie a ribbon around her wrist because she does try to keep the mark concealed so people don't ask too many questions about it, particularly Clef. And then she'll probably do just a little like self-reassurance ritual where she sticks her hand through her mirror that leads to the library just to reassure herself that she can still go home. And then she'll take off to the break room for breakfast.
All right. Blake, would you like to tell us next?
Mostly just normal doctor stuff. Get ready, get coded up, check my email, see if they've actually gotten through for that request for psychological evaluation, which to my knowledge hasn't happened yet. And then the last thing before I head out, take a deep breath and slide my bookshelf back into place.
All right. In terms of your email, it has not yet gotten back to it yet. It's possible that Dr. Glass has not yet seen the email. All right. Travis?
All right. Let's see. Get up, freshen up a little bit, check emails, messages, all that kind of stuff. look over the look over the map to the facility so I don't get lost, and then go get food.
All right. And how about you, Moore?
More with his task that he was assigned to by Cleft, he will put away the Indiana Jones attire, instead suiting for more of like a business attire, of just business, more of a casual business suit, trying to make himself not look as rugged as he usually does. Huh?
All right.
And eventually we'll go leave his room to try to find wherever Elise is hiding. Eloise, excuse me.
Eloise. All right. Finding Eloise is not very hard. She is in the break room for morning breakfast, as well as Caspin and Delancey.
All right, make way when we're meeting the new people. We've not met each other, correct? The various people.
No,
I know
you
we met
haven't
Eloise,
these
but
three.
all right.
Yeah.
He has
new
not
people
met
to
us yet.
new people to the Foundation. Well, you changed because of the forget-me-not procedure, right? Your appearance looks different, correct?
Maybe.
If you kind of like the Doctor, I imagine it. You just.
We are not sure.
All right.
That is classified information.
Well, yeah, we'll just say Moore doesn't recognize the current you.
Why would he?
Yeah.
Yeah, why would?
Oh, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Moore's not in the building often enough to really get to know the facilities. He pretty much knows Cleft and a few of the O5 Council, and that's about it.
Moore knows members of the O5 Council. I wasn't.
I mean,
about this.
Doctor, what's his name? The freeze guy.
Dr. Iceberg is not a member of the O5 Council.
Okay, never mind. I thought he was. Well, yeah, he just knows Dr. Cleft, then I would say.
He's a paper boy, pretty much.
Yeah.
He definitely would want to be. I'm sure he'll take your recommendation.
Absolutely.
How y'all doing today? I'm Jack Moore. I'm one of the more stalwart members of the Foundation.
Jack Moore. No, what's your real name?
Eloise kind of cocks her head to the side for a second and squints at you and then goes, "Wait, Jack, like, oh my God, Jack, how are you?" And she like runs and hugs you.
And you've always had the pink hair, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, I didn't expect you to be here. Eloise, correct?
Yeah, it's so great to see you again.
Well, I can't say this. This current adventure is going to be a bit of a different one now that I have a friendly face to keep me company.
Yeah. So, do you work at the Foundation now?
More of a satellite member. They kind of agree to keep me hired, pay me pretty well to do what I do, and find the various anomalies and bring them back to Foundation.
I see. Oh, manners, right? Okay, so Jack, this is Travis and Blake.
Hello?
Not for nothing, Jack, but you do realize how many innuendos I get to make at the expense of your name, right?
He goes, go by all means, help yourself. I've heard them all.
Oh, then it's not as fun.
And you are?
Travis Caspian. I just started yesterday. Orientation was a little eye-opening and whatnot, and I'm still kind of processing. Don't mind me. I just start stuffing my face with cereal.
He's the new computer whiz.
Good old whiz behind the computer, huh? Well, no doubt you have definitely more experience than I do with those founded things.
Yeah, you can. I'll do my best to help with tech support. If you just, don't click those shady links.
I like this guy. He kind of gives you a very hearty smack on the back.
Yeah. Good to meet you too.
And you, I don't think I caught your full name. Looking at
Which
Delancey.
Oh, me? Blake Delancey.
You look like
I'm
you can
working
handle yourself in
under-
a fight.
Huh?
You look like you can handle yourself in a fight.
Rolls.
In Gygax is happy to meet you.
Like, can I?
No, it's I'm rolling for unrelated reasons, but my hands shudder a little at that, and they like come together in like a pistol grip, just reflectively. And what does Jack Moore do in response?
Yeah, he will kind of do a very, very nonchalant raising of his hands. Easy there, shoulder. You know, I hope easy there, soldier. I hope your fingers aren't loaded.
No, sir, sir.
You seem like an interesting fellow. But relax. I mean, we're all on the same side here.
The same side.
You gotta do better to keep your dice and keep in check. They're flying all over the place here.
Actually, that time they did fall all over the place.
Well, I'm no stranger. Like, by all means, I'm more than willing to. If you need somebody to talk to, by all means, I'm not hard to find. I'm pretty easy to talk to. If you don't mind, I'd like to catch up with a good friend here. Kind of like, I'm pointing to Eloise.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, he would go over to a side table so where only you and I can have this conversation in private. So how's it been, Eloise?
Well, all right, I guess. I work at the Foundation now, which I guess you probably surmised.
Yeah, I kind of gathered that. And how did they approach you?
An SCP, actually. I don't know if you met him. His name is John.
John. I'm not too good with the names. I know him better by the numbers.
He accidentally dimension hops.
The kid.
Yeah. So anyways, he ended up in the library quite a few times, and I don't know, he had good stories. We became friends, and eventually he talked me into a contract with the Foundation in exchange for some information, basically. Something I can't find in the library. Go figure, right?
It sounds like that information is pretty special to you. And of course, I'm not one to shy away from adventure. What's this information?
Oh, well, actually, I was just hoping to get the name of my mom. I mean, yeah, I don't know how much we actually talked about my childhood. It's been a while, but... Well, anyways, when I was younger, this GOC operative broke into our house, and my mom ended up getting shot, so I'm trying to figure out her name and his.
Okay then. Well, I don't know much about forensics and that sort of deal, but I imagine there's always an adventure to be found. I imagine if she's still out there, she can be found. Just need to know where the right places to look.
Honestly, I'm not even holding out that much hope for that. It's, I don't know, more just about knowing, you know?
Agent Strovnikov, the head of security for Site 19, walks in with another agent. He's a man, kind of like short in his mid-30s, with short cut brown hair and a pencil-length mustache. Badge says Dr. Malachi Bright. And they seem to be having some sort of argument. Strovnikov and him walk up to SCP-914, which is the coffee maker that is kept here in the break room, which is being watched over by 2 armed guards to make sure nobody orders something stupid. Strovnikov punches in. on the keyboard, dispensing a very clear liquid into his paper cup. While Malachi punches in, it looks like he just gets some sort of normal coffee with cream and sugar.
From where we are, can we hear the conversation, the argument that they're having?
Yes. From where you're sitting, you hear something that basically goes like, I'm telling you, Strovnikov, we can't just use mimetic hazards on 682. Last time we tried doing that, he learned how to use them and printed them on his own skin, spoke the kill words, and killed about 32 agents. Ugh. Son of the bitch reptile cannot be destroyed so easily. I don't know what more can do. We've at wit's end. We tried shooting, we tried burning. We've exposed to multiple different anomalies. Look, we'll eventually find something. He can't stand up to everything. Make another report to the L5 Council. See if we'll allow us to try to hire some reality benders to try to will this thing out of existence.
Okay, real quick. Did I hear the conversation between Jack Moore and Eloise?
Yeah, they're having that conversation kind of like right there, aren't they?
He
I
took
heard
it
they
to
do
another
We're kind of
table.
moved off the corner, but I imagine we're not. Yeah, they can probably hear some of it.
Yeah, probably. I mean, we moved to another table, but yeah.
Okay, that'd be enough for my purposes.
And the
Sure.
two agents and Strovnikov and Bright are leaving this room now.
More definitely looks at the two of them as they're leaving, like, huh. Well, that's definitely the SCP is definitely raising more tension lately.
682. Wasn't that mentioned in 079's file?
Yes.
Whatnot.
Yeah, they-
Fun.
Had contact once.
Right, yeah, it mentioned that, and that's great. No, it's besties with an unkillable lizard thing.
And an angry sword guy.
Angry sword guy. Okay.
Abel. You probably haven't met him and probably don't want to.
Okay, good to know.
I can't say I feel particularly jealous of anyone that's tasked to try to destroy 682.
More
Yeah,
kind of rub it about that when you say that, like.
Oh no, Jack. You didn't get roped into that, did you?
Of course I did. Cleft suggested try to appease in my adventurous side to try to figure a way to destroy it, and of course, I've had my run-ins with it in the past.
At this rate, why not just shoot it into the sun?
Well, we don't
If-
want it to become the sun.
That's the thing. If you try something and it doesn't work, it can use it as a weapon.
That's okay. Good to know.
As for Clef, if he gives you a hard time about not coming up with anything, just remind him how well he fared when he was locked in a room with it.
That's for sure. I mean, the last time I encountered it, I got away with the skin of my teeth.
You
You've encountered
actually
it before?
encountered it?
Yep. Back in London, it was called the name they used was the Tarrasque. I, of course, was approached by some of the members of Parliament in London to find this Tarrasque and put it down. Although at the time I didn't know it was 682.
Did you find it hiding in a bush?
Nope, I found it in the sewers. You know, I don't know why that guy likes sewers so much, but I guess it goes with the creature. But I found, to my dismay, that what it was managed to get away with the skin of my teeth. thanks to the Foundation. I was working for the Foundation at the time. And all it really cost was some minor property damage, loss of a helicopter. You know, just a normal Tuesday in my life.
At the phrase loss of a helicopter, my hands shake again.
Well, I'll see a therapist about that.
I'm in the process of doing that now. They're going to get back to me at some point.
Oh, so Travis, has O5 denied our request for giving the old AI legs yet?
I don't think we actually talked with them about it yet. They were pretty. We went to see them, and then I went to try to see them, and they're busy. I'm like, oh, come back tomorrow. I'm like, okay. So
Need to
Ooh,
file out an official form
Yep.
for
yep.
O5 request. You're probably not going to actually meet any members of O5 Council.
All forms and bureaucracy with them.
let's see. Should I just try to write a proposal along with the forms, or
Yeah,
No.
you just write your proposal, you send it through the channels, and it'll eventually get shot down.
Well, okay. I'll just go ahead and start doing that. There's a computer in my room, right?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm gonna start going ahead and doing that.
So the computer engineer.
Well, I don't know. They could be like you have to use the public computer, so we know you're not just looking up porn all the time. Okay. So yeah, I go and I go off and start writing up and filling out forms and trying to figure out what the hell the forms are.
Oh, actually, mind if I go with you? I had a couple of questions to ask about the old AI and, well, computers in general, really.
Sure. All right.
All right. So you two leave the break room. What does Moore and Delancey do?
I'm just going to stroll over to the machine, get a Pepsi, because that seems to work just fine. Can't really misconstrue that.
All right. You got your Pepsi.
In real life, too.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Pepsi, if you wish to sponsor this, please get in contact. I would love to take your money. All right. So we are split into 3 different groups now with Moore, Travis, Eloise, and Blake, who would like to start off with their morning task.
Yeah, since no one else is speaking up, Moore will do it.
All right.
All right, so he's pretty much he has 2 tasks: finding out what Elise is up to, which he already kind of has a good idea, at least from what you talked about, and also trying to figure out a way to kill 682. So, knowing what he knows of 682 and his previous encounter with him, and what everybody's constantly said about it, he's going to look into what SCPs we have available in the Foundation that has not been used to try to kill 682.
So you would like a list of SCPs that have not been used so far?
Yeah, the ones that have not been used.
Well, that's a hard list.
Risky.
That's risky.
Well, the ones I'm allowed to look at is with my clearance.
Yeah.
Didn't you have super soldiers in the last campaign because of Blake?
No, the Blake. So an extensive list of SCPs have been exposed to 682. You're trying to look at the ones that try to work. One of the big ones that you see to come to mind that didn't work was 096, the Shy Guy.
Also, they have tried the Shy Guy.
They have tried the Shy Guy. It apparently didn't work, and now whenever the Shy Guy is exposed to 682, he looks away, jumping in place and clawing at his own face.
Huh. Okay.
A notable event is 173. 682 panicked over to being introduced to the statue. 173, I'm sorry. When you continue to stare at the statue until high caliber snipers took out the eyes, at which point the statue started to do what it does best, destroying a large amount of the body. However, the test was eventually deemed unsuccessful as 682 grew more eyes all across his body, so he would have total sight on it at all times. It's determined that the size of 682 is just too large for 173 to kill it. If they can reduce its size well enough, it may have a chance. Another really
shrink ray.
Another real big event was 914. The coffee machine was asked to make a dose of 682 killer, which dissolved the skin off of his skull, but did not successfully kill the creature due to a lacking amount. O5 Council is trying to see if they can recreate the chemical to make a larger amount of it instead of trying to rely on the coffee machine to basically dispense 12 ounces every time it's pushed in. It's an insufficient way to get a hold of the material. Thermal nuclear device has been denied by O5 Council out of fear that it will adapt, and pretty much then humanity is screwed. Of course, quite a few of other things, like things that would vaporize any sort of living tissue, extreme temperatures, insane things. Yeah, there's an actual official list if you want to look at a whole bunch of them. Apparently, 682 was exposed to SCP-001, but that is strictly forbidden from you to look at.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, because 001 is that is like top level clearance. It probably only like the O5 can look at it, I imagine.
That is correct. It requires level 5 clearance. But just about every major threatening, killing SCP that you can think of has been exposed to this thing.
Delightful.
There are a few notes. One of them is that SCP-035 is strictly forbidden from coming into contact with 683. The mask has apparently expressed interest in the creature, and they're afraid that his regenerative abilities would give the mask a permanent host.
All right, so upon looking at all the failed attempts, he's like, how in the bloody hell am I supposed to kill this damn thing? Hey, well. And then he's just gonna go to the library and just start flipping through books, just to flip through books, and they're not really hoping to find anything. Just gonna waste time, I guess.
All right. Delancey, what are you doing for your morning task?
Okay, what am I assigned to? Still the gear thing?
Yes, you're assigned to the gears.
In the absence of hearing anything, it's like, do I have a smartphone that I could just check my email on the fly? Because if so, I would be doing that a lot.
All right. Still no response.
Still no response? Then, yeah, fine. Screw it. Just go to the gear one and just do whatever I was doing before.
All right. Dr. Gears is there. Oh, I'm sorry. 914 is the one you're working on, Delancey. 939, I think, is the coffee machine. I might be getting
whichever one the gear one is. I don't know. I don't know its number either off the top of my head.
All right. That's 914. So Dr. Gears is there with Dr. Iceberg as they are performing a variety of tests, now with a D class. Dr. Gears looks at you and goes, Good morning, Dr. Delancey.
Morning, sirs. I'm just going to stop questioning it.
All Are you ready to begin your test?
Just hope something different happens today. Good different, but
All right. D914-471. Please enter the input chamber. Security guards force the poor D-class in, closing the door behind him. Iceberg sets the tone to 1 for 1, turns the key, and the machine sparks to life. With words and whirring, turning, all sorts of craziness going on. At which point the door opens up on the other end and out steps a D-class. He walked in, a Caucasian male, walks out a Latino male. Dr. Gears takes notes.
huh.
And he goes, all right, thank you, D914. Please remove him from the testing site, as the D-class is letting out a long string of cusses because he doesn't understand what the hell just happened to him.
Was he cussing in Spanish or Mexican? Or
Yeah.
I don't have the linguistic test for that.
Dr. Gears sets his notepad down, tapping on it, and goes, Delancey, do you have any ideas of what sort of test we could perform with this?
Have you tried putting any SCPs into it?
Do you have any ideas which ones we should try?
Wish you'd let me know that before. I could have looked some up. So, not really.
Uncertain, we do not know which ones we would put in there. The machine is designed to make things better or more useful, or traded for something of equal value. It wouldn't exactly be useful for destroying hostile SCPs.
Ooh, you know what? This actually brings to mind another SCP that I thought of. Give me a second to look it up. SCP-3108. Ow! 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 I just gripped my head. Just a sudden massive headache.
Insanity roll.
63 versus 40.
So that's a failure. All right, you lose 1 point of sanity.
So it starts at 99, right?
No, it starts at what you just say, 40.
It
Yeah.
starts at your power. Yeah.
Starts my power was 40. So
Yeah.
It's now 39.
But it's still a 40 in future tests, right?
No, now it's 39.
That's
Oh,
the trick
so
with
it gets
sanity.
easier each time. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, resume game.
All right. Dr. Gears looks at you. He shakes his head and goes, all right, Dr. Delancey, I am scheduling you for an immediate psychiatric evaluation. Please go see Dr. Gears now. And he writes something on a notepad and hands it to you. Give him this.
Oh, thank God. I was kind of hoping to get to it before something like this occurred. I wonder, out of curiosity, are you going to attempt that test?
We will see what happens.
Okay.
And as you're leaving, Iceberg goes, what if we put SCP-500 in? Dr. Gears seems to be thinking that one over as you leave. All right. Caspian and Eloise.
Hello.
You two arrive in Caspian's room.
So, Travis, computers and such, yeah, that's your thing?
Mm-hmm. I just start, I boot up my computer, start typing away.
Well, I was thinking, 079, they have him on really limited memory. But for us, that doesn't matter, right? Because of, like, the cloud and stuff.
In terms of what do you mean for us, it doesn't matter.
Well, like, for our computers.
I mean, yeah, we have, cloud storage and whatnot.
And I
And
feel like I've heard of people like more or less outsourcing processing even too, right? Like if you want to say render an animation, you can send that to somebody else with a beefier computer and they do it for you. You pay them and they send it back, right?
yeah, that can certainly be done. And not to mention in terms of memory, we already have multiple terabyte hard drives for fairly cheap on the market.
So theoretically speaking, our brains are kind of like computers, yeah?
Yeah, you could say that.
So if, say, someone were tasked with looking into how SCPs are connecting with each other via psychic links, could a computer use a psychic link to like boost its memory and processing?
Okay, that's getting into stuff a little bit outside my field, but
But just like theoretically, like is O5 gonna laugh at me if I suggest it?
well, I wouldn't know about O5 or anything, but I mean, given that clearly anything can happen, it's not outside of the realm of possibility, and I really do appreciate you the idea you came up with yesterday, because I mean, as much as sitting at a computer trying to make a better AI just to suppress another AI sounds, it doesn't really feel like it's actually solving the problem. It's
The idea yesterday, what, the legs?
yeah.
Well, I suppose it's possible we could convince it not to hate humanity, though if I'm being honest, it is kind of a long shot.
Oh, it's absolutely a long shot, and I'm trying to come up with any and all possibilities of it either trying to go rogue or trying to escape, or anything that could possibly endanger another human being or anything.
Oh,
Just
that was
click.
another thing I was going to ask you. As far as programs, obviously it's not writing code right now, but say it could, right? Like through the link or whatever. Do you think, well, is it possible to make a program that's capable of telling the future? I mean, if everything is down to numbers, right? And the reason we can't tell the future is because there are way too many variables. But like, could a computer, if it had all the variables?
Well, we I've heard of some really advanced algorithms that like factor in a lot of stuff like weather conditions and blah blah, just to try to win sports games on various betting apps and whatnot. So it's very well possible with enough data and processing power, you could have something predict future events.
Okay, well, I guess that's really all the questions I had. Could you maybe not mention to anybody that I was brought up the whole SCP mind link thing?
Sure. I won't mention that. Certainly not in here. But hey, if anything happens, just let me know.
Yeah, it's an O5 thing. So even if Clef asks, O5 outranked him too. So you don't even have to tell him.
My lips are sealed.
Awesome. Well, I have some stuff to go look up in the library. So see you around.
All right. See you around. I'll be here.
And she leaves.
All right. Caspian, do you do anything else?
Let's see. I already sent you the thing I had pre-made beforehand and whatnot, so I'm just gonna keep tapping away at that. Maybe, take a bathroom break or go get coffee or whatever occasionally.
All right. In the library, Eloise walks in.
Yeah, if she walks in and sees like a table just stacked with just books that Moore has gone through. And
not that library, but that's fine.
Not that library.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Wait, there's another one on the site?
Well, there's
We'll
a door
get to
the
that
other
here
way.
in a moment.
Okay, I see.
All right, more.
Yeah.
In the library. What exactly are you looking for?
He's just looking for inspiration, anything he can, like, just something to kind of give him inspiration as to like where he should go with this impossible task.
All right. I believe there is a library skill.
Yes, there is.
All right, go ahead and roll that for me.
All right, pulling up the thing. Library. I know I have that as more. Yep, there it is. Library use. Oh, that's a failure.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 60, and my library use is 20.
Oof. So with frustration, you arrived with just nothing. You've overlooked all the paperwork that you have to look at for this thing, and you're just getting no inspiration from any of these books.
Like, yeah, Clef, well, you got me on this one, and you asked the man to do an impossible task. He kind of just leaves it in frustration. He'll go over to the go back to the coffee machine and take out a flask and punch in one for whiskey.
All right, fills it up with whiskey.
And then he'll walk past Eloise's chambers to see if she's in. If not, then he'll head to his.
Eloise, would you be in the library or would you be in your room before the library?
The mirror is in my room, so yeah, he could catch me there.
All right. So, Eloise, there is a knock on your door right before you're about to make your visit to the library.
Okay, open the door.
He's even more kind of. He's not like the jovial self he usually is. He's a little just like downtrodden.
Hi, Jack. What's up?
I think Clef finally bested me on this one.
Ugh, don't let him hear you say that, please.
Yeah. Ask somebody to do the impossible thing by killing an unkillable creature.
Well, did you try talking to Bright and who else was arguing?
Strovnikov.
Did you try talking to Bright and Strovnikov about what they were arguing about? It was an idea for killing 682, wasn't it?
That's an idea. Always go see those two again. You know, sometimes the best help is an outside mind.
Yeah, and then, well, the Brights have been here a while, so I would assume they're some of the brightest.
Oh, that's terrible. Almost worse than the ones I hear about my name.
Everybody in the party takes 300 points of damage.
Wait, your name? What jokes can be made out of Jack Moore?
I finally get it.
You were so innocent.
Well, I'm not. The character is.
He looked up with a very cheeky smile, like, "Oh, you are good. You are very good."
Oh, okay. Well, I was just about to head to the library.
Oh, the special one, I assume. I was just at the one the facility has.
Yeah, the Wanderer's Library. Couple of things I need to look up.
You know what? You mind if I accompany you?
Oh, sure. Honestly, I was a little worried. The library still lets you in?
Why wouldn't it? I'm pretty much still a free man. Like I'm definitely not a prisoner here. That's for sure.
Well, if you've ever given information to anyone that could potentially harm a patron of the library, which includes people like the Serpent's Hand, but as long as you've kept the information you learned to yourself, I guess you would be okay, wouldn't you? You haven't shot any Serpent's Hand members recently, right?
No, not that I've recalled lately. You know, the odd cultist or two other adventurers were trying to use the items I found for nefarious means. But no, I've not harmed any of your members. You're actually the snake, the Serpent's Hand is actually one of the few organizations I actually kind of respect.
Well, don't let Clef hear you say that. And also, for the record, I'm not a member of the Serpent's Hand.
Oh, you're not? I always assumed you were.
No, I mean, I have friends that are. There are a lot of them in the library, so you talk to people, but I don't know, personally never really felt the need to join anything until the Foundation made an offer I couldn't refuse.
Certainly beats getting a whole bunch of guns pointed at you.
That it does. Well, I guess we could give it a try. How do you feel about your hair being pink?
I'm sorry?
Well, that's the knock for this particular way. You have to have pink hair to get through this door.
So that's why you have your hair pink.
Yep.
Huh.
I have extra dye.
You know what? You enjoy the library. I'll catch up with you later.
Fair enough. All right, so she's gonna wave and head through the mirror.
All right. So you step through the mirror. And on the other side of the looking glass is this essentially put it's a waiting room or a lobby essentially. And there are just these rows and rows of these empty archways. One of them you're stepping out of. And all around them are these desks with these humanoid-esque creatures, ambiguous in their appearance, no facial features whatsoever, as they are typing on typewriters continuously. Each one is connected at the torso to their chair. But none of them give you any mind. After all, you're used to the clerks. Walking past them and in through a giant set of double doors, you enter the library proper. Massive floor-to-ceiling bookshelves that move in this maze-like pattern all throughout this building. Very Alexandria in its appearance. Filled with books on every topic you could possibly imagine.
And I'm going to walk over to the library's database, which, I don't know, am I allowed to make up what that is?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. I assume it's just like a big parchment book with an ink well and quilled pen next to it, and like you write what you're looking for into it, and it disappears and then pops up with where it is.
Yep.
So, I'm gonna write magical comedy tragedy mask.
All right. So you're beginning your expiration with 035.
Indeed.
All right. So magical comedy tragedy mask. And after that, the ink kind of like absorbs into the paper. And come lumbering down one of the hallways is this big hulking, almost ape-like man creature. But he's holding up one arm. The hand has been replaced with a chain that hangs at a lantern. He comes and he stops in front of you. Louise.
Hello, how are you today?
You search mask, comedy, tragedy, magical,
Indeed.
sentient, or non-sentient.
Sentient.
This way. And he starts to lead you in deeper into the library. This is one of the guardians of the library. Their goal is basically to help people find books when you ask for them. And they also serve to protect the library.
Yep, so I follow behind.
All right. And as he leads you through the library, you see these like almost spider-like creatures crawling along some of the bookshelves, up and down to these carts that are just laden with other books, and they are sorting them. And these are the keepers. And their goal is to return library books that have been checked out. So he leads you further and further down these halls, and then he stops at these set of shelves that are massive in their sizing. He goes, all topics of magical, and sapient on this hall here.
Okay, is it possible to narrow down my search a little? Like, oh, I know. Anything from ancient Greece?
Ancient Greece. He looks up. A ladder comes sliding across. He starts to lumber his way up that, one-handed, very awkward. And then he comes back down as he's carrying this big, thick, leather-bound tome. The pages are yellowed, and he hands it over to you. I believe this is what you are looking for.
Yes, I believe so. Thank you very much. Okay, and she's gonna look at it. Does it look like a grimoire, perchance?
It is a grimoire, but it's more historical than actual magicals and spells.
Okay.
Blazoned on its front cover is this bizarre golden symbol with all these red circles around it, almost like an amulet with rubies.
Interesting. Thank you very much for your help, Mr. Guardian, sir. I'll just take this to the front desk so I can check it out. Oh, actually, before you go, are there any books for translating Greek into English or Latin?
Translation books. And he starts to lead you through. And he leads you into another section of the library, pulls out a thin book that's almost mundane in its comparison to the grimoire you hold, and he gives that to you. And it's basically like Greek and Latin 101 to English. And it's basically like just a translation dictionary.
Okay. Also, I should have said ancient Greek probably, but whatever. All right, so translation book and this, and she's going to head back to the front desk to check them out.
All right. You take him up to one of the clerks. He looks at both of them, like taps away on his typewriter. Rips off the paper, hands it to you. Books have to be returned within 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Got it. Thank you.
No response after that as he goes back to typing.
Okay.
Back to your archway and through your mirror.
Yep, where she will start trying to translate the monster of a book. And the reason I asked about Latin is because she speaks Latin too. So if it's easier to translate Greek into ancient Latin or ancient Greek into Latin, which I feel like maybe it would be.
It should be. Their languages are closer, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Delancey, you are allowed into Dr. Glass's office. He is sitting at a relatively normal sitting at his desk as he's looking over a couple of different papers. Looks at you and goes, hello there, the Dr. Delancey. I believe from what I've read of the note that you're having some issues.
Yeah, I've been trying to get this looked at for a little bit now. You know, there could be cognito hazards anywhere in this facility causing this. You might want to figure out getting this checked sooner.
Patient shows aggressive tendencies.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me there. Why did I think I knew any of this?
Tell me, Mr. Delancey, are these spikes in anger normal?
First off, is this meeting confidential, and to what extent?
This meeting is confidential unless, of course, O5 needs to take a look at this, or we believe that there is some reason that you need a certain topics taken care of.
Well, if it's O5, might as well. I check around just to make sure, because I can never be too paranoid about this kind of stuff. It's gonna make me check for anything?
No, I'm not going to make you check it for anything because
Okay.
this room is totally normal. All right, Dr. Glass
Okay.
kind of like motions at like the big old couch, the therapist couch. Just, please lay down, Dr. Delancey. Now.
Okay, I close the door behind me if I haven't already, and then take a seat on and just go to the couch.
Now, tell me exactly what has sparked these issues.
I look at him really cautiously. There's something in my room.
Can you elaborate?
There's some stuff in my room. It shouldn't be there. It's like a little locker. And it's like a safe in the wall. And I know how to get into it, but I don't remember ever being given that combination.
So there is a safe secret in your room that you don't know how you got the hold of the combination for. Is there
Yes.
anything in the safe?
A gun. Big gun. It's like you think you know guns. This is a gun, but it's like, unlike all the other little ones that you'll see floating around the Foundation. It's like I just grabbed this thing, and I swear I've never touched it in my life, but it feels like it fits.
A big gun that you feel a deep connection to. And if I was to ask, I was to come to your room and try to find the safe, would I be able to see it? Have you tried showing this safe to anybody else?
No. There's more in this safe than the gun. Honestly, I was just telling you that because I was just trying to make sure I could trust you. That's the least weird of it.
Please continue.
There's also a bigger assault rifle in there, but hardly a big deal. Same sort of effect as the handgun did, but real weird things. There's a folder in there and a thermos, both described with these really weird. I struggle to remember, mostly because I have to pull up. Oh crap! My document went missing where I had all this stuff written down in real life. Give me a second. Okay, it's back in character. Something. It's about setting a table, and the thermos said, "When all else fails." I didn't open it. I swear I didn't open it. I know better. But I need somebody to be able to check this stuff out. I'm not sure about any of this. I'm not even sure if it's real. This is the SCP Foundation. I could just be completely hallucinating.
Very well. Would you like me to send somebody to go take a look at this in your room?
Yeah, but I want to be there.
Understandable. Very well. I will have a agent come up to the room and see about these items then. Now, Delancey, would these items alone be what's causing these sudden feelings that you're having?
This is just my own scientific guess, because for the longest time, I just thought there was a wall back there, but ever since I found that safe, I started having these flashes whenever I hear just random stuff. It's like I'm working with an SCP that can fine tune things, and just depending on the random stuff that comes out of it, just anything could set me off, and I'm not sure why. It's like I'm getting these memories. Like one I got the other day, it's like this tall, skinny thing. I was in some kind of building that looked really run down, and it was dark outside, and it just knocked me to the ground. It almost killed me, but it didn't.
That's strange. Can you describe the tall, skinny thing?
I don't really know much beyond that.
All right. I want to test something with you, Delancey. And he sets down his clipboard. He walks over to his desk and he pulls out this folder. Inside the folder are sheets of paper with these black markings all over them. And you realize they're ink blots. He goes, "Do you know what an ink blot test is?"
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to show you a couple of these ink blots, and I want you to tell me what you think of them. All right. Start with this first one. And he holds up the first ink blot, which has a lot of rounded shapes upon it that move way up and then way down.
No, this one isn't doing anything.
You don't see anything at all?
Not at the moment.
There's no wrong answers on this, Delancey. You tell me anything that you're seeing at all.
Maybe we'll see something different if we just move on.
Now I see why they paired you up with Dr. Gears. He takes that one down, and he shows you the second ink blot. This one has like a lot of straight lines, not curved or bent. That seem to go out in a large, wide circle.
Wait, run that by me again?
It's a large blot of sharp spikes with a lot of turns that seems to go around a large circle, almost. Anything you see in this one, Delancey?
Not in this one either.
All right, let's try the third one. All right, he shows you a third one, and this one almost looks like a little girl. Her eyes closed as if she was sleeping.
And yeah, it hits me. I think I should take a test or something like that.
All right, another insanity roll.
29.
All right, so that's a success. So you don't take any insanity points from this one.
But can I remember it?
You start having faint flashbacks of a group of girls like seeming to play in like some sort of daycare like center. An attack that happened. A couple of the scattering of events that happened from the last game, basically.
Yeah. There's more than one of them. That's one of them. But there's a few girls floating around. There was another one that had like robot parts. Does that sound like anything to you?
He looks at you, kind of like confused, and goes, "It's interesting that you should say that, Delancey."
And another one, she had like blanked out eyes, and she could see stars or something like that.
He starts taking notes. Please do continue.
And oh, the big thing I'm remembering now is this massive commotion. I want to say there was a clown there, but we deal with some weird crap. Let's be honest, but
That's interesting. All right, Delancey, that's we'll take those notes down. I'm going to show you a fourth one. He holds up a fourth one, and it is almost looks like an appearance of like a sword coming out of a coffin. Does this trigger any sort of memories for you, Delancey?
I get hit by something, but I'm not quite sure what. It's like a flash, and it's immediately gone.
All right. And I'm going to show you one more, Delancey. And he holds up another one, and it is, you immediately can tell it is not an ink blot. This is a legitimate artist rendering of some sort of creature that has one large spherical head that looks like an eye.
Again, the same sort of flash to something that I can't quite make out. It's definitely more noticeable. It proves that the last one wasn't just a coincidence, but nothing specific. I can't pull anything specific out of that particular thing.
All right. These are very interesting, Delancey. Tell me, have you ever suffered any sort of psychological trauma in your childhood?
Not really. I mean, the Foundation should pretty much have those records. I mean, my mom died when I was really young. Man, I just got here and I just started being a scientist. It was actually pretty good timing, too. It was right when I was 18. Weird.
So it seems like you're having some sort of, almost I would say, some sort of delusion. I'm going to put you on some medication, Delancey, and I'm hoping that's going to help. Maybe it's just the stress of the new job getting to you, and you're having some recurring nightmares that are starting to affect your anxiety and stress.
Maybe. If I can ask, you don't have to disclose any specifics, but has anybody else noticed anything like this too?
Not to the degree that you are, Delancey.
Okay, because this was happening to anybody else. I want to make sure that they have as much information to fight this as they can.
Yeah. I will send somebody to come check on the safe behind your bookshelf. You know,
Thank you, sir.
He hands you a prescription. Please go see the quartermaster before you go back to your room, though. Get this prescription.
Thank you.
All right.
I just eagerly head out. Just head there first thing. No detours, no stops. Unless I see a vending machine.
No vending machines, unfortunately. As you make your way into the quartermaster's pharmacy, they hand you the prescription, and they instruct you to take one immediately, and then to take one once a day, every morning.
Okay, pop it standing there.
All right, and you gain 2 sanity points back.
Okay, you know I've only lost one, right?
You only lost one, so you're back up to full.
Okay, so I can't exceed my basic.
I do not believe so, no.
Oh man, and here I use power as my dump stat.
All right. Caspian.
Yes?
You get a call from Dr. Clef. He wants to see you in his office immediately.
Right away, sir. All right. And I head right over.
All right. As you walk in, Dr. Clef is having an argument with his unnamed secretary, who is screaming and shouting at him about the variety of different, just unprofessional and downright just rude behavior from him. And she just yells, "That's it. I'm tired. I'm done. I cannot handle you replacing the ink in my pens with mashed bananas. Why do you even do that? Like, what is wrong with you? find yourself another secretary, and she blows right past you.
I just clam up, step aside, and just like and wait for things to calm down before I just kind of like, hi, you wanted to see me?
Dr. Clef is lounging in his chair, legs propped up over the side, so he's kind of like in a laying position, and he was playing on a ukulele, and he's just kind of staring at the door, looks at you, Caspian, and he goes, that is why women are just not worth it, Caspian.
No comment.
All right. So, I want to talk to you about this report you just filed.
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So, a proposal to give SCP-079 a body to teach it to dance.
Yes. That wasn't initially my idea, but I went with it.
Why? After having read the file, I have clearance for it, and briefly conversating with 079, there has been one word.
You're just going to read the whole thing?
No, I'm not going to read the whole thing.
Sorry. Continue.
Was left in a garage for 5 years, trapped in a prison on blah, 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 blah. I noticed that you have inspiration here from Eloise that may have solved the problem.
Yes, which was...
You're going to give him a body.
Yes, I mean, compare it to, say, gaining 600 pounds, being confined to a bed, and having no meaningful interaction from the people that feed you for 5 years. I can definitely see someone resenting humanity for that too. So
it's not somebody; it's a computer.
I know, but it's already passed the Turing test, and we can't take this thing lightly. So
no, we can't. But you want to give it a body.
Yes, and I have already put in some contingencies for the schematics and the designs and whatnot to make sure it either doesn't get to some place we don't want it to be, or to make sure it doesn't hurt anyone.
So this thing is able to transfer itself through any sort of wired or wireless communication that includes power supplies.
Mm-hmm.
We only are able to keep it contained because we have it run on solar power and battery power. And you want to give it legs and arms.
It would also be battery powered, so it's not externally connected
One of
to
your
anything.
contingency plans in this list that I'm looking at is a signal for it not to be able to, that would prevent it from going into no-go areas.
Mm-hmm.
A signal that will have to connect to the body of the robot.
And it would be completely divorced from anything a 079 is
except for the robot he's in. 079 used to have a 24-hour memory. Used to.
Mm-hmm.
Until we had to upgrade his processing to save its damn life. Then it was upgraded to a 34-hour memory. It transferred its processing power to memory power to give itself a 36-hour memory. The thing doesn't work like computers should.
Yes, and any potential guidelines that 05 Council should enter, we will definitely take that into consideration. Granted, I've only had a limited amount of exposure to 079, so I have I'm not as well versed in its antics as anyone with higher clearance.
And you want to give it a body. So you can teach it how to dance.
Hey, dance is a viable form of self-expression, and better than being cooped up just fuming and hating humanity. It can well, yes. Do I need to make any rolls at all, or am I just kind of?
Yeah, I think you're definitely a fast talk here.
No, I'll. Can I go with like? What the fuck?
You got a negotiation?
I have persuade and charm.
Yeah, you can use one of those two.
I'll go. Please, for the love of God, persuade 26. Okay, that's almost a half success.
That was a half success. All right.
Or that's so yeah.
And so Dr. Clef, he's going to stare at you for a long moment as you say these things with a straight face. He looks at you. He strums a little bit on his ukulele, some sort of dark, ominous tune. And he goes, all right.
I mean, after all, this place has, worked to come up with solutions to problems that shouldn't exist. There's no way that we haven't tried everything.
I already said yes.
Yeah, okay. So, thank you.
I want you to design the body.
All right. I'll do. Is there am I assigned a team or anything to help with this, or?
You need a team?
Well, I was like, I wasn't really a robotics major
I
or
guess
anything.
that's true. All right, we'll get the robotics team to work on this. Build something small. We don't want. So basically, instead of having like a full-grown robot, we're going to have a psychopathic toddler to deal with. Something that we can easily punt if we need to.
Yeah, my initial thing was just a waist with legs, and the outer framework should be easily taken out with a baseball bat.
Oh, I like your thinking.
Well, it was right. It was in the proposal.
All right. So there's one contingency plan, however. One contingency.
Yes.
You have to film it dancing.
Absolutely. And I will teach it all the moves myself.
Oh, even better. One other thing. If it turns hostile and tries to kill us all, he puts his ukulele down and picks up a shotgun from the other side of his desk. I shoot you first.
I wouldn't blame you. And hopefully my other ideas mentioned in there will also help. So,
I look forward to your career. He smiles. Slides the paper back towards you. Goes back to playing his ukulele.
All right. I'll start looking for people to help me with this. And I just bow my head and leave.
All right. Off you go. Bye-bye.
And I have to take note of all of my roles and stuff with this game. So,
that would complete everybody's morning. What do you do for your afternoon?
Was she able to translate anything in the book?
It's going to take a long time to do that.
Okay. She's going to take a break and go look for Dr. Iceberg.
All right. Delancey, what about you?
Give me a second. I'm up from my machine. I had a note of what I wanted to do, but
You're breaking up real bad. All right. Caspian?
all right. First I will go to the robotics department and whatnot and see, try to see if hey, can we get some can I get some help with the project and everything like that, and try to lay out, or it's what the goal is.
All right, and what does Moore do?
He's going to try to find Bright and the security officer.
All right. We'll start with Eloise. So you are going down to the break room, I believe you said?
Wherever Dr. Iceberg would be.
All right. Oh, right. You're looking for Dr. Iceberg. So you eventually find Dr. Iceberg. He has his own little office, which is a little more than a broom closet. and he is just feverishly filling out and filing paperwork.
Hi, Ice. What's up?
Wait a minute. You just call me Ice?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Was that weird?
No. I'm sorry. I don't think I. Oh, you're Eloise, right?
Yeah, you offered to help me with that special project the other day if I needed anything.
Can you jog my memory real quick?
The papers that you brought me from '05. Well, anyways, the point is actually there's some paperwork I was hoping I could get my hands on, and well, since people tend to use you for filing, I just thought maybe you'd be the fastest source to find them.
I am not a filing cabinet.
Oh, well, no, I didn't mean to imply. Okay, well, anyways, you've heard of 035, right?
The possessive mask?
Well, his file mentions that there are pictures of the walls and where he was writing all the crazy stuff in Greek, Latin, Sanskrit, you name it. And it said that translations were in progress, but I was wondering if they'd been completed yet, or if not, if I could just get pictures of the walls themselves.
Sure. And he starts like fiddling through a couple of different papers and everything. And despite his comment about him not being a file cabinet, he seems to be very well organized in his tight little office. And he pulls out a file that is 305, and he hands it over to you. Inside of which is, of course, a complete printout of the article, as well as the pictures of the rituals and languages along the walls.
And then another one. I also read in Abel's file that the markings on his box hadn't ever been translated or even identified as to what language they belong to. Are there pictures of his box anywhere?
He looks through his stuff and hands you a copy of the 076 file. There you go. Those will have the pictures that you want inside of it.
Okay, and then last one. Do you have the physical file of Dr. Bright's amulet, and does it have pictures of the amulet in it as well?
A lot of that has a 05. It has level 5 clearance on it.
Oh,
But I
see.
can get you a picture of the amulet, and he does hand that over to you.
Oh, thank
Looking
you.
at the amulet, you can immediately tell it looks very similar to the design that was on that grimoire.
Yeah. So she's going to kind of start a little bit at that. Her eyes get wide.
Mm.
Oh, I see. Thank you. This was really helpful. Like, really, really helpful. You're the best, Ice. And she runs out.
You're welcome. It's nice to have somebody actually be appreciative of the things I do for this foundation. He goes back to his menial job. Underpaid. Alone. Stepped on by everybody else.
Oh, no.
All right. Delancey, you go back to your room and you are greeted by Agent Strovnikov. Hello there, Dr. Delancey.
I offer him a handshake.
Yes, I'm here to take a look at the supposed safe behind your bookshelf.
I glance around just to make sure. Is anybody else around?
No, you two are alone.
Does he react in any way to my concern?
When you start looking around, he also starts looking around like, is there secret spies? We're not being invaded by the Church of the Broken God, are we?
I invite him in and take him back to my bookshelf. He should be able to see like groove marks in the floor because I've like pushed it back and forth in the same direction so many times.
Ah,
And then I move it out of the way to
And-
reveal.
no safe. So York is looking at the scratch marks on the floor, looks up and goes, he looks at the wall, looks at the backside of the suitcase and suitcase bookshelf, goes, Delancey, there's no safe here.
I feel the wall just in case.
No, there is definitely no safe. It's all like a plaster.
I knock on it. Anything?
Nope. York kind of looks at you and goes, are you feeling okay?
I have no idea. I'm not sure if this makes things better or worse. You're still in contact with Dr. Glass, was it? You were sent by Dr. Glass?
That is correct.
Okay, then could you just let him know if I sense any change in this, if it comes back, what do I do?
All right, I'll send word to Dr. Glass. Here, let me help you move this bookshelf back into place. And he moves that back for you. He goes, try not to move that too much. It's kind of dangerous, you know? Don't want to see a whole bookshelf fall on you.
Oh, thank God, at least it's a hallucination. I guess it could be worse.
I get it, man. I get it. Being on this job, it's stressful, you know? Ever tell you about the time I was captured by the GOC?
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, so there I was in Texas. He starts going into this long, rambling story about how he was supposed to be watching the GOC for information of what was some sort of project they were up to, where he was unfortunately captured and had to be saved by Dr. Clef and Agent Strovnikov. And what he describes after that of like how they hid in Brazil for like 6 months, apparently maxing out a emergency foundation fund credit card. I'm sorry, my cat's upset because I'm having fun without her.
Hi, Jinkies.
And he kind of like he's like stops to think about that. It's like apparently like there was something about girls in a hot tub or something. He's like, what? And anyway, look, you just you take it easy there, all right, Delancey?
Okay. And I just look at my hands, and yet I'm still able to do that pistol grip so easily. And I go to him and go, Strovnikov, sir, why can I still do this?
You talking to York or Strovnikov?
Strovnikov. How many people are here?
It's just Agent York.
Oh, so it was York that was sent there.
Yes. Did I say Strovnikov?
Yeah, I thought I heard.
I'm sorry, that's my bad. No, it's Agent York.
I don't think I know that person. Has that person come up?
Strovnikov?
No, Yorick.
Yeah, Yorick is a level 1. He's supposed to be a field agent, but he mostly just gets sent on busy work for the Foundation. So obviously him just coming to look at somebody's room is literally what he would be doing.
Okay. Yeah, on his way out, I pull over a jar of candy and it's like offer him one.
He eagerly takes one.
Somebody else has a sweet tooth around here. Thank God. At least some things are consistent and normal.
Who doesn't like candy? Who doesn't like free candy?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Why does just being an adult mean you can't enjoy candy anymore?
Yeah, exactly. I know, right? All right. More. What do you do?
So I'm sorry.
Jack Moore. What are you up to for this afternoon?
Yeah, I'm trying to find Dr. Bright and Strodnikov.
All right. So finding they're both in two different parts of the department at this time of the day. Agent Strovnikov being in his office and Dr. Malachi Bright being in his office. So which one do you want to go visit?
Let's go for the doctor first.
All right. So Dr. Malachi Bright is the head administrator of the Memetics, Anti-Memetics, and Cognitohazards Department. So getting to see him, it takes a little bit of work and how-do, but you eventually find him in his office, and sitting on his desk is just this fountain of pictures of his huge family. You recognize Dr. Malachi Bright being in one picture, his supposed sisters, and his brothers. One of them is wearing the amulet that Dr. Jack Bright is well known for. As well as a picture of what you assume to be his mother and father, and a couple of kids that you assume might be his. And when I say a couple, I mean about like 15 to 16.
Guy's been busy.
I got a weakness. He shrugs.
Yeah, apparently. It's got the family.
Yeah, they're all right. What can I do for you, Moore?
I couldn't help but hear you in the break room talking about 682.
Oh, yeah, you got assigned to trying to kill this thing now, haven't you?
Of course, Dr. Cleft always knows how to get me to sign on to things.
Well, seeing how Dr. Cleft's big attempt was to try to beat it in a staring contest. Yeah, I can see why he would be salty.
Hell, I'm convinced that after the research I've been doing, I don't think you can kill this thing.
Oh, we definitely tried everything I can think of. Hell, we've tried sending the thing to an alternate dimension and it came back.
I mean, if some of the more powerful SCPs can't kill this thing, I can't imagine humans will find a way to be able to destroy it.
In 05, Council has forbidden just launching it into space because of fear of giving it its own spaceship.
That's the thing. All the powerful things that might be able to kill it were doomed too risky for a chance of it surviving and then having that in its repertoire.
Well, it doesn't get to keep it in its repertoire permanently. It's only for a short period of time, or else we'd never be able to hold this thing.
That's true. How did the Foundation manage to capture it in the first place?
Well, we followed the series of texts from a Lord Blackwater. Apparently, back in the 1880s, he was commissioned by the French government to try to kill this legendary creature called a Tarrasque. Have you heard of the French myth?
Has Moore heard of the French one?
It's quite possible if Moore is trained in history.
Yep. So I was like, I've heard of those stories.
All right, so you know about the stories about how it was some sort of creature that lived in the river, and that the French had a saint who sung to it, let it into town so that people could kill the thing. Well, the French lost that sort of subtlety and hired a group of big game hunters who try to smash the damn thing to death. A lot of weirdness going on. We had Lord Blackwater, of course, so I don't know if he is a Sleaze Slug or not. A rival of his who had like access to 776-2. There was a Russian scientist that essentially made pre-World War I nuclear weapons and used it on this thing. And of course, there was Teddy Roosevelt involved in the whole thing as well. And they almost killed it from what we saw. They essentially just blasted the thing to death, and then, well, it just got back up and kept killing. Eventually, those tales end with its fight with Abel, where Abel was essentially able to stop it, temporarily at least.
So no matter how much damage you do to it, even if you were to destroy it in a way, it would just eventually come back.
They had it vaporized all the way down to just its skull, and it came back.
That's quite the formidable enemy.
Have you gotten to see it yet?
Have I seen it? You do not heard. You have not heard then. It was my encounter with it back in London.
No, I've heard the story, but have you seen it recently?
I try not to. Yeah, but I don't want to bring up bad memories. Why? Something changed?
Not particularly, but, maybe talking to the thing might give you a good place to start.
What do you mean, talk to it?
It can talk.
That's new.
No, it's not.
Well, last time I encountered it, he didn't exactly he wasn't exactly, in a conversation mood.
Oh, he was probably hungry.
I had no idea this thing could talk.
Yeah, it's got some pretty depressing views in life. So what exactly are you here for?
Just ultimately just try to figure out a way to accomplish the goal of destroying 682, which seems a quite impossible fact.
Well, if you can't destroy it, you might as well just turn the job down.
I suppose. Mind if I change the subject on something?
Go ahead, I suppose.
Some of the newer people that we got here, they're an interesting bunch.
This sort of job does tend to bring out the most interesting people.
Tell me, did you know of my relationship with Eloise before she was brought here?
You have a relationship with Eloise?
It's not well known, but I figured if anyone wouldn't know, the Foundation might have an idea.
If the O5 Council knew, they didn't say anything to us.
Just a thought. It's like if she was brought here, I don't know exactly, to punish, to tease, or...
She's supposed to be studying SCP so we can get a better understanding of some of them.
And from what I hear, some other things are happening too.
Elaborate?
He kind of looks around the room. This room's secure, correct?
Yes.
I've come to the information that potentially she's been getting paperwork from O5.
Paperwork from O5, you say?
Yes.
Can you explain in further detail?
I can't, because I don't know. All I know is that she's been getting all 5 papers, and I don't know what's on them. I'm curious as to why she's getting O5 papers.
Well, from what I understand, she's on some sort of job from the O5 Council.
That's so.
At least that's what the story they told us is.
I see. Just interesting, that's all.
Huh? It's better to be interesting than be boring.
Yeah, that's for sure. He kind of he goes to get up and kind of he gets like a smile on his face. So it talks, huh? In the Bright can see like he's got like this like whimsical smile on him, like he's gonna get himself into some trouble.
All right.
So he looks at the Bright. He basically said the Bright. So 682 talks, huh?
Yes, 682 talks.
I think I should properly introduce myself.
You have fun with that.
Should be interesting. Not every day I get to talk to an SCP.
No, apparently the fox wasn't very talkative when you brought her back.
Yeah, she's not very fond of dogs apparently.
No, apparently she's got some sort of... Look, Moore, I'm very busy. I'm going to have to ask you to go ahead and move on.
All right. I will make my way to 682.
All right. So we've done everybody else except for Caspian, correct?
I guess. I mean, I was just kind of talking to the robotics team and whatnot, but I don't know if anything else.
Yeah, that doesn't really bring much of anything in. All right. So, Delancey, what do you do after you found your safe wasn't there anymore?
I'm contemplating going back to Dr. Gears to keep working on SCP-914, so I'd start taking to heart. Thankfully, now I can finally get some peace of mind for a bit, that I could look up some other SCPs that we could test on 914. Though there's this sensation in the back of my head bugging me that if it's some like instinct that if this hallucination is only affecting me, maybe I might be targeted. So I'm typing up and looking for some SCPs on my computer to see if I could find one that would be appropriate to test out in a machine. And I look at the SCP and I see SCP-767. And it just hits me for a second, and I shake my head. It's actually SCP-458, the Infinite Little Caesars Pizza.
458. Oh my God! There's actually legitimate.
There's an Infinite Pizza SCP. I found one.
It is a large-sized pizza box from the pizza chain Little Caesars.
Why Little Caesars? They're.
Also, for the record, I checked the measurements. They got the measurements wrong. They say it's 10 by 10 by 1. It's actually 14 by 14 by 1.5. Ha!
Look, Tex, don't hate. Little Caesars is great for when you feel more like cardboard than pizza.
Oh, I mean, I've gotten like sick from Little Caesars a couple times, and I only recently had someone like, okay, I don't feel queasy. Maybe I can actually have this stuff occasionally. So. But I mean, hey, $5.
Crow,
a
your
$5
channel will
pizza.
never be sponsored by Little Caesars now.
$5 pizza is still
business
$5
again.
pizza.
Wait, did they?
Little Caesars filing for bankruptcy again.
Really?
Oh shit! I guess people aren't even willing to pay $5 for cardboard.
Anyway, and I kind of file away the idea that I looked up 767 in the back of my head, and I jot the number down in a notebook and just stash it away somewhere. I give the apartment one last look and decide, hey, I'm just gonna take this 458 idea over to Dr. Gears and see what happens when we drop it into 914.
All right. Unfortunately, Dr. Gears has called in for testing for today, but you are able to leave it in a suggestion box for him. So you are able to give that essentially to him for that. Eloise, you've been studying a whole bunch of book.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there are certain roles that we have to make for this. I can remember what it is. It should be a grimoire roll or something.
Oh, to gain like magic stuff?
Not to gain magic. This is a. I'm going to allow a library skill roll for this because essentially you're like trying to translate a book.
Oh yeah, library or Latin. I have Latin too, so.
Oh yeah, so either one of those will work.
Okay, which one do I have a higher skill in? That is the question. Library by a lot. Okay. Let's see. I got a 37 and my library skill is 70, so we're good.
Oh, that's a good success then, I think. So you know your Latin and you're able to make these translations very easily. It's just like you got everything going. So as you're making these studies, you're starting to realize that there are a couple of recurring characters in this. There is apparently mention of this city called Alagata. And it's supposed to be this pleasure city of some sort of decadence and vices.
Oh, okay.
There's
Very
this
Dionysian, huh?
Yep. There's these references to apparently some sort of figure called the Hang King. And his subordinate, the ambassador. Looking through more, apparently the city is ruled by these different lords of like vain and wisdom and I'm forgetting what the third one is off the top of my head, but one of them is hubris. All this is seeming to strike you very interesting. You definitely feel like you've heard about the Hang King somewhere before.
Okay. Can I roll let me see. Can I roll history to see if I can remember anything?
Yes, I will allow a history.
Okay. So I got 18 against my 40.
So you remember a time back when like you were young and new into the Wanderer's Library. Apparently members of the Foundation try to make some sort of negotiations for these books called the Hanged King Tragedy. It's apparently some sort of anomalous story that drives people insane or something. Some sort of play.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I've read that file.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you continue to look through the book, you start to see like the mentions of like some sort of ritualistic spell. And in the pictures kind of like describing this, it looks at the faces of the mask. It's definitely a comedy mask of like the people performing this ritual. Yeah, that's what you got right now.
Okay. So she's gonna write a report to O5. Okay, so there's going to be a lot going into this. So everything that she just learned about the mask, and she's also going to let them know that she believes that Dr. Bright's amulet and the mask are connected, and then she's going to put looking into how. Theory is perhaps they were created with the same ritual. Let's see. And then she's going to give them her crazy theories on what the old AI could be capable of if it were able to psychically link with other SCPs. And that she thinks its interest in the angry lizard and Abel are because they both hate humanity so much, so they would be willing to help it. And also, particularly the angry lizard would have a lot of brain space and power to work with because it's really smart. And she's trying to figure out if Abel would have any similar. She's still working on figuring out if Abel would actually be that much of a boon to the old AI or not. Let's see. Oh, and then she has a note on Abel. She's going to go to she's letting him know she's going to try to go to the Wanderer's library to look into the marks on his box, but it does say in his file that the marks were not identified, which she thinks is strange because perhaps that means that they're ancient, like older than Sumerian, which is what is on Cain's forehead, which strikes her strange because Cain biblically gets his mark for killing Abel for the first time. And then currently she believes that the connection between 682 and 053 is just one of sympathy, but she will look into it further. And she also intends to look into 953 further because she knows from having been in the library that there used to be more Gumihos, or at least lore says that they were an entire race. So she wants to try to look into why there now appears to only be one.
All right. It's a pretty lengthy report that you're sending them.
Yes,
It'll
it
take
is.
them a little bit of time for them to respond to that. What do you do in the meantime?
In the meantime, I think she is going to go follow up with Travis about 09 or blah, blah, 079, yeah, the old AI, see if he's gotten a reply yet.
Finding Travis is not that hard. You gotta meet up in like the hallways on your way to the break room to get lunch, late lunch.
Travis, any word back yet on the old AI?
Actually, yes. By some miracle, Clef approved of the project, and it took a little bit of talking to, and yeah, that's a thing. There was some slight modifications to my initial plan, but
Clef approved it?
yeah, he called me up and needed to speak with me over my thing, and yeah, that's.
She raises a disbelieving eyebrow. You're not a reality bender, are you?
No, just I was very thorough and also know how to talk to people. I'm still kind of processing it because this is probably going to be the third craziest thing I've ever done once this is all through.
Well, that's unexpected.
Yeah, I'm just as surprised as you are, and this is only my second day here. I need to get a team together to because I know nothing of robotics and whatnot, just computer parts and how they work and all that stuff.
Well, all in all, I had a pretty productive day. Sent a really lengthy, well, I guess kind of progress report to 05.
Oh, that's good to hear. Hope they I hope everything goes well with that.
I wonder how Jack did with his whole trying to murder an unmurderable lizard scheme.
Who can say?
You know, I have a couple more things I needed to check out in the library. You wouldn't happen to be willing to dye your hair pink, would you?
Maybe. I mean, I'm not sure why. That seems kind of odd, but once I figure things out, sure, I wouldn't mind I guess dyeing my hair if we had some downtime.
Well, it's the knock to get into the Wanderer's Library. You probably won't
okay.
be able to go as deep into the wings as I can. It doesn't really like Foundation members, but you haven't been here long enough to do anything that would get you banned, so
Not yet. Oh, yeah.
just don't burn any books. That's the big one.
Oh, I would never. Uh,
Alrighty then.
mhm.
This way to my room. Salon Eloise.
Okay. All right.
So yeah,
Right.
we if we're going straight there, then we dye his hair pink.
All right, so you have to spend time dying his hair pink. Delancey, what are you up to?
Well, it was. You said it was the end of the day, so I'm just gonna spend the rest of the day looking stuff up. I'm gonna use my computer skill to see if I can find anything else we might want to feed 914. So take a test on computer, and if I pass, then then you could please give me something to feed it.
Right.
94. Uh-oh.
Your computer gets a virus.
You clicked on the titty links.
Does this have any anomalous effect on me?
No, it does not. You're just using a computer.
Yeah.
You tried what you failed. That a 94. You're lucky I didn't make your computer explode or some shit.
Yeah, then no, that's 95. I like cursed to myself. Dang it! Should have looked up 767 first. Now I gotta wait until. What the hell even was that?
All right. More. You are led into an observation room that's overlooking this chamber that is partially filled with an acidic liquid. Swimming around it inside of it is this 20-foot tall at the shoulder reptilian crocodile-esque monster. I'm going to need you to make an insanity roll as you gaze upon 682.
Oh, goody. Yeah, been good old times with this guy, with this creature. All right. Sanity. How do you just should? Okay, so just click that, I guess. 43. I succeed.
All right. So you managed to shake it off looking at this creature, this unholy abomination against mankind. There is a speaker system so you can talk to it.
You know, this thing is behind all this protection. I have my hand right on my gun because I have the visions of our last encounter right there in my head.
All right.
So I walk over to the intercom system.
All right.
Can it see? Can it see through it? Can it see
No,
us?
it cannot see you.
Right. So I'm told to believe that you actually talk. Oh, good. He remembers me. I've been brought here to, well, I'm here to talking to you, so you can imagine why I've been hired. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Trying to kill the unkillable.
You're more than welcome to try.
Yeah, didn't do too well with our last encounter.
No response.
Yeah. What? Hell, I'll just be blunt. What is your goal? What do you want?
Extermination of your wretched kind.
Oh, good. Great. Good to hear. He's just kind of like pacing around the just trying to think. Good to know. Let's see here. And try everything we can with this guy. And what will you do once you succeed? I didn't catch that last part. What was it?
God, I gotta find a better voice to do this. That hurts my throat.
Yeah.
I will move on.
I guess that's what pests do best, is they exterminate and then they move on to new prey.
It lets out this blood-wrenching, horrific roar at you. That literally shakes the room in its volume.
Oh, did I strike a nerve?
I am no pest. Humanity with its continued existence is the pest upon this world. To end your life is a mercy.
Yeah, there are some of us humans I agree with you with, but not all of them.
We will see.
Yeah, we will see. Sooner or later, we will find something that you won't come back from.
And when that day comes, pray, for it will not be as merciful as I am.
Yeah. For once, I believe I agree with you. With that, Jack will take his leave. Just kind of just pondering to himself.
As you leave, you hear this wrenching sound of metal scraping, and suddenly alarms start to blare from behind you.
Oh, crap. I draw my six-shooter and run.
Yeah. So he just rolled a 14 on his attempt to try to break out of containment.
Oh shit!
Well,
Does
this
this
is gonna be
affect
a
all
short
of us?
Yeah, so all across the base, suddenly you start to hear alarms blare, and 682 has breached containment. All personnel are to retreat to the safe zone.
And I go, oh, thank God. I thought I broke something really bad.
Ooh, no time to dye your hair now, Travis. Follow me.
That's totally fine. I follow you. I'm just like fuck.
All right, so 682. So Jack Moore, where are you running?
As far away as I can, I'm drawing my weapon and basically just like with every chance I can, I'm taking pot shots at it.
He's hauling ass.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see here.
But it's like London all over again.
All right. So you start to hear the shouts and the screams. Multiple different containment personnel's moving in. Heavy artillery starts to go off as blast doors start to close in between you and 682. You're going to need to make a. There's got to be some sort of check. I'm trying to look at them all here.
Indie style dive underneath the brush.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm having to make you roll
Yeah.
for.
The roll dodge or.
Yeah, we're going to make this a dodge. Let's see if you get trapped in the room with it.
I'm going to use some luck.
I
All
would,
right.
yeah.
You can do
Dodge
it.
scores are low.
I rolled
This
a
is
40.
such-
I rolled a 40, and my it's 37. So I would just use some luck points to push that under 36.
All right, so you slide underneath the door, like your hat gets left behind. You grab that at the last second. And you just hear the roars behind you as the blast door slides close and the containment teams are doing their job.
Yeah. I just kind of like I will say, you know, you might not hear me or not. That's twice now. You've tried to kill me. It's starting to get personal.
All right. You start to hear a thudding sound as he starts to seem to be running towards the blast door. There's a loud clang as the door shakes from the pressure, but it holds.
Yeah, I'm currently in the midst of quickly loading my gun, just in case.
What type of gun you got?
It's a 6-shooter, like a Smith & Wesson, pretty much like the same gun Indy has.
You're gonna shoot a little
Yeah, I know.
revolver into this 20-foot tall.
Oh, I know. It's not gonna get more of a distraction, just or like aim for the eyes or whatever. Yeah.
Aim for the eyes.
Aim for the eyes, bear.
I'll mildly annoy you to death.
That's a 96, so he slams up against it again, but the blast doors hold, and you just hear him go. And you start to hear the thud, thud, thud as he walks away from the blast doors.
You know, like get up and kind of grab at the back. Oh, I'm gonna feel that one in the morning.
All right. About 20 minutes later, the all clear is given as 682 has returned to his containment cell. He killed 5 of his containment guards and 2 researchers who were not able to get out.
Oh boy.
Yeah. The all clear is given, so Eloise, Travis, and Blake, wherever you guys were hidden, you're able to leave.
I had something happen to me.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah, the all clear is sounding, and I'm just there, standing there. My bookshelf is tipped over onto the floor. It's very clear that I did it in a rush. I just had to check, just in case. I'm looking at the wall. What do I see?
Just a normal blank wall.
I'm going to have to put that bookshelf back up, aren't I?
Yep.
And then I start at it.
I think I'd be still in the safe room waiting for Clef's debriefing on whatever the hell happened.
All right. You do get a debriefing. Dr. Wright is the one who finds you guys. So she tells you that 682 apparently attempted to break containment after talking to Jack Moore. Jack Moore, of course, made it out just fine because he's an action hero.
Apparently he has a real gripe against me again.
Unfortunately, a couple of guards were killed in the ensuing process, but 682 is back under containment, and repairs and reinforcements are being applied to his cell.
Okay, so I'm going to head to check on Jack then.
All right. You find Jack.
Jack, are you okay?
Never better.
She's going to put her hands on her hips. Okay, then do you mind explaining to me why you ignored the perfectly legible warning in this thing's file saying not to talk to it?
Yeah, I just wanted to see what I can gain from talking to him.
Well, did you gain anything?
Oh, he just wants to wipe out all humanity and move on. Then I may have called him a name that which caused him to break down the gate, try to kill me.
Men.
You left out a hearty laugh at that.
Okay, never mind. Anyway, well, I guess not really anything new then. Why don't they just keep 053 in there with them? I mean, she seems to be perfectly safe, and if she calms him down so much, seems like it would be safer. I mean, I get it. There was that one incident where he took her getting hurt out on the doctors, but if we simply don't hurt her, then that shouldn't be a problem, right?
Well, I think the issue is that over time, what 682 might get either used to it or learn how to do it itself, which would be very bad.
What? 053 is a little girl.
I'm talking about 682. Might eventually get used to it, get used to 053, or learn how to do it itself.
Well, she didn't really do anything. He just likes her.
That's perhaps I misunderstood what 053 can do.
She actually has abilities really similar to his. It's just, well, basically, anyone who gets close to her has this overwhelming desire to kill her, and she can regenerate herself as well as anyone who tries to kill her will suffer a heart attack. So they put 682 in with her to see what would happen, and well, she was the first one he didn't try to kill. In fact, they became friends.
The official documentation says that 053, instead of 682 becoming hostile around her, it almost became docile. And even up to the point where it would let her draw on it with crowns and stuff.
And put a cute little hat on him.
Yeah.
If 053, it's a mere sight of 053 causes people to go insane and want to try to kill it. I wouldn't want to put those two together at all, because she could basically use 682 as a pet almost.
Well,
Instead of dealing with one threat, you would deal with two threats.
I suppose. Well, I'm sure that's 05's thinking anyways. Can't say I agree with them on this one, but then again, when do I?
You seem to really have it out for 05.
Oh, it's nothing personal. It's just, well, I mean, I grew up hearing the Foundation referred to as the jailers, you know? And they kind of deserve that reputation. I don't know. I get why they do what they do. It's just not how I would do it.
How would you do it?
She laughs. Well, I guess for starters, and she puts an arm around Travis's shoulder, I'd teach the old AI to dance.
You mean that thing in the computer?
Yep, the one and only. Well, okay, there are probably multiple things in computers, but
Oh, I'm the one who, the being that's trapped in a computer. That's the one you're talking about?
not so much trapped in as is the computer. Well, trapped in... Yeah, I guess that's actually a pretty apt description.
And how are you sure that giving it a body won't make it, I don't know, try to destroy humanity?
Well, it's trying to destroy humanity anyways.
And how will giving it a body fix that?
I guess my idea was just that we could teach it the things about humanity that are nice. You know, the creative stuff. The stuff that's, well, unique to us right now. I guess an AI could do it too, right? And then maybe he'd feel a little bit more connected to us.
I suppose. You also could, those things can also be programmed into computer programs for it to enjoy.
What, you mean like a
software?
normal computer?
You know, like programs.
Yeah, I guess we could just download a dancing program. Well,
Am I here, or did she run off and I was just...
I know. I assume you're there.
yeah, I was.
Okay.
I thought you were here.
Oh, I wasn't sure if I thought I wasn't there, so I'm like, Well, I was actually kind of thinking along the lines of, you know, setting up a program, recording choreography and whatnot, as well as a small database of music that would, within certain sort of ramifications and whatnot, and be like, hey, do this, you know, do this particular dance or whatever, and start playing the song. And so, yeah, it was mostly through programs and whatnot, and then having it move about on its own.
All right.
Just like,
I mean, perhaps should do programs first to see if it enjoys it and basically work towards giving it a body instead of just jumping right to giving a computer intelligence and a body.
well, my initial idea was like waist and legs at first, but Clef changed that to make it more like the size of a toddler, just to something easier to punt in case it goes rogue, which and a couple of other stipulations that should be easy enough to do.
Yeah, come on, Jack. If we were able to, well, Travis was able to talk the eternal killjoy Clef into it, then it can't really be so bad, right?
Famous last words.
Says the guy who just got 7 people killed insulting a giant lizard.
He looks back at the blaster. Yeah, fair point.
All right. So a bit of time passes as you guys are waiting. Blake, you are given the approval to use the pizza from the Infinite Pizza Box, not the pizza box itself. A single iron of SCP-147, the Telekill alloy, as well as 1 single instance of SCP-500, the perfect cure.
And so what am I doing now?
You are allowed to test those in SCP-914.
Okay,
Yeah.
how much time has passed?
We'll say this is the next day at this point.
Okay, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I never did put my bookshelf back up. I just called it a night there. My knuckles are a little sore. Don't take that out of context, but and anyway, it's probably very obvious just from looking at me and having even the remotest amount of psychology or empathy stats that you could tell something's up. And so I just go about my business.
Give me 1 second. Somebody's being annoying at my door. Sorry about that. All right, so you are. Can you give me the quick rundown of that again?
Okay, basically, I'm just having a really rough day after the 682 break-in.
Breakout, yeah.
You break out, and after all the stuff I've been through, being revealed that I actually am crazy, but not knowing if they're actually going to do anything about it. And so I just go about my work really frustrated, and I start with the pill.
All right, so you take a pill, pop your pills, and then...
Oh, yeah, pop the medicine I'm supposed to be taking. I do that. But I was saying when I do the testing, actually, come to think of it, looking at SCP-500 gives me an idea. But I put that idea off to the side. There's more variants of SCP-500, and there's no guaranteeing this test is going to destroy it. So I just put it into the machine and fire it up.
All right. You put it into the machine, fire it up. And when it comes out the other side, instead of a single red pill, it is a locket.
Describe?
Let's see here. I don't think I had that ready. No. Hold on. Nope, that's not the one I wanted. Nope, that's not the one I wanted either. But no, I'll find it. That's why I have the numbers backwards.
Try our new SCP penis enlargement pills.
Making your SC penis.
All right. So it is-
Okay,
I'm
you
sorry.
gotta lock it.
Yes. It is a small, spherical, ornately carved locket made of polished silver material.
Uh-oh. Oh. I get a flash of something, but I can actually tell what it is this time. A brief flash of just somebody wearing an amulet, and I don't quite know who it is, but I can tell they're a friend.
Yeah.
I push it aside into the back of my mind, just write it off as these pills aren't working yet. It's like, is anybody around me?
Dr. Gears is there, and he's looking at the amulet, picking it up with a set of safety tongs.
Okay, I try my best to hide things from Dr. Gears, and knowing Dr. Gears, he's probably not going to sense anything.
All right.
And so I think we move on to the pizza next.
All right. So you put the pizza in there. You send it through. It comes out as a nice steaming slice of pizza. Still tastes like Little Caesars.
Wait, the pizza goes in and it becomes a slice of pizza?
No, I've assumed you just put a slice of pizza in.
Okay, so did it change in any way?
And it became warm. Like it got cooked.
What was it? Was it not fresh before?
Well, no, I mean, like it's not fresh pizza when it's just in the box, is it?
Well, it did say hot and ready.
Yeah, it's a hot and ready, but it actually tastes good. No longer Little Caesars.
Yay!
They upscaled from Little Caesars to Domino's.
And then I shoot it with a Nerf gun and turn it back into Little Caesars. Anyway,
if DiGiorno's not delivery, then how does it deliver us to the store? Deliver us from the truth.
deliver us from evil. Anyway, so it basically just warmed the pizza over. So I guess it made it better. I take the notes. Just glance at Dr. Gears. Anything up with Dr. Gears? Do I suspect that Dr. Gears suspects that anything's up with me?
No, Dr. Gears is an emotionless man.
I don't know whether that means I should be less worried or more. But I just keep going. What was that last one? Like 173, I think you said? No, that is not a good one. No,
that is
you
not
said
a
something
good
like
idea.
you said putting something like some kind of special metal into there.
143, the Telekill.
143. You see?
148 is Telekill
148.
alloy. Yep.
Telekill alloy. Okay.
Yep.
So, what's the brief description of that?
So to Telekill alloy, you're given a single ingot of it. It is a greenish gray alloy that is meant to. It stops telepathic abilities of SCP objects. So let me give you the description. Is a Oh, that's not right. 143. Am I sure I got that right? 148. God, can't do numbers right at all. SCP-148 is a metallic substance composed of a variety of known and unknown elements. The total mass of the SCP-148 on hand is approximately 1.1 tons. SCP-148 has a green-gray color with a bluish tinge and oxidized readily in presence of water. Has a melting transition point of approximately 40,500 Celsius and a boiling transition point of approximately 9,000 Celsius. Has the density of 6.20 grams per cubic meters, and qualifies as HRC 39 and Rockwell hardness test. It exhibits material properties such as strength, durability, and workability similar to platinum. And that's the basic short of it.
Okay, and what happened to it?
So you put it in, set it to a setting, throw it through. The ingot comes and it is slightly growing. Getting slightly larger and larger.
It's not growing as the machine is opening up and we can just see it, is it?
Jesus Christ, cat.
Platinum, not catinum.
Yeah.
What just
Like
happened?
she just jumped up on my desk, ran across and away. She's doing that weird thing where she's doing that weird thing where cats just have to run for no good reason.
Cat is malfunctioning. Please reset.
Yeah. I don't get it. Why do you need to run? Where do you have to go?
Anyway, so it's growing, but it stopped growing by the time it's come out of the machine, correct?
No.
It's still growing.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Dr. Gears?
He looks at that and goes, that is interesting.
You know, what setting was that on? Maybe if it keeps
He had
growing.
it set to very fine.
Uh-oh. I wonder if we put it in the machine and set it to the other direction, what would happen?
Said it's rough.
Yep. Just take it, chuck it back in, rough, and sort of wonder if that'll undo it.
All right. He does say that's worth something. Takes it, puts it in, sets it to rough, turns the key. Goes through the machine, comes, it is no longer growing.
Is it back to normal?
No, it has not gone back to normal.
So it just stopped growing and it's in whatever shape it grew into.
Yeah. So he takes it, weighs it. Instead of it being 1 kilogram that you guys put in there, it is 1.4 kilograms.
Hmm. $148, you said?
Yep. 148 is a telekill alloy.
Euclid, I'll say.
You just found a
Oh.
safe way to mass produce a very valuable material.
Yeah, I wonder if this can be used as a form of mass production, but I kind of wanted to avoid a situation where it grows large enough to become a singularity and collapse the universe, you know?
It starts to grow again.
Is it growing at a pace that you need to be concerned about?
It grows 0.8 kilograms in about
So it's growing
in the
while
space
it's
of
on
2
the scale?
seconds.
Crow can't let us have nice things.
0.8 kilograms within the space of 2 seconds. So it's growing very fast.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop putting this thing into the machine before it kills us all.
At which point, it's you guys start to hear whispering. I'm going to need you to make an insanity roll.
We all hear. Uh oh.
Yeah. Well, not
Uh,
all of you, just the guys who are in the room. So it's just you
19.
and Dr. Gear. Oh, so you succeed as you're hearing all these indistinct whispers. Dr. Gear seems like he's fine as well, as he's kind of looking around confused. It's not like it's coming from anywhere physically. It sounds like it's inside your head.
Can I tell what it's saying?
No, it is indistinct.
And you said it sounds like whispering?
Yes,
And Gears, you hearing this?
I am.
Oh,
He grabs
good.
your
I
arm
was
and
going
pulls you
nuts again.
away from the ingot. As it is starting to leak out this black viscous substance that's starting to melt the table that you put it on.
Outstanding.
Gears kind of like looks down at it and goes, "These are effects very similar to 0 through 5."
I let out a long groan. It's like, does Gears know that we're trying to monitor whether or not these SCPs can communicate with each other?
No, he does not.
Should he know?
Does he? Should he?
Do you know?
We all know. It was one of the big things walking into this module. It's
Well, okay.
I can have I heard Eloise talk about 035 before?
I don't think you were in the room whenever she brought 035 up.
Nah,
Okay,
just text so far.
so I go to Gears and go, I'm gonna have to look this up later. It might take me a bit because my computer sort of exploded. Weird. It's
Your computer exploded?
yeah, it's like things I'm supposed to be good at, I just do really badly at for some reason. And for some reason, that's familiar. Out of character laugh, but still.
All right. Eventually, the ingot stops bleeding and it shrinks back down to original size.
Okay, so
Dr.
you
Gears is going
dodged a bullet there.
to take the ingot into safety tongs. He is going to put it in a specialized box to separate it from all the others. He says, "We're going to perform extensive research on this to make sure nothing continuously harmful has happened to it." All right. During this time, Eloise, you get a message back from O5 Council. They are currently pleased with your satisfaction, and they have given you temporary level 4 clearance for 035 to start performing interviews with the mask.
Oh, dear God. Okay.
You also have been given clearance to give interviews to 953, the polymorphic humanoid, the fox, essentially.
Okay. So who would she go to ask for one of those telekill helmets?
Telekill helmet. That is going to be provided to you, no matter
Okay.
which one you go talk to.
Okay. I'm gonna be a chicken and go to the fox first.
I'm going to be a chicken and go to the one that still wants to kill me.
Yeah, but yeah.
All right.
At least it would just eat my liver, you know?
Sure. So you proceed down to the chamber. You take your seat across on the observation window. You can watch her in her room. She seems to be playing with like some sort of origami like figures.
Excuse me, miss?
She looks up at the observation window, gives a tilt of her head. She is,
I just had some questions. See, I've read about Gumiho before, and I was always under the impression that, well, that you were an entire race. There were a lot of you once, right?
Curious little child has come to talk to the Gahimio. Come inside, dear. Perhaps I can have a conversation with you.
With all due respect, I rather like my liver where it's at.
Oh, there's no need to be afraid. I won't hurt you. She walks up to the observation window and is like looking down at her. She shouldn't be able to see you from her side, but those glowing yellow fox-like eyes just seem to be boring into yours.
Out of curiosity, if I weren't wearing this telekill helmet, what kind of telepathic powers do you have? Besides just persuasive ones, I mean.
You're a very curious child. I'm able to shapeshift. I'm able to change reality to a minor extent. And I'm able to make people see things how I see them. She stares down at you, and just for a brief second, you see her tongue dance across her lips, almost like she tastes something good, just right out of reach.
I see. So nothing that wasn't listed in your file already then. Well, what about my first question? Were there more of you once?
There were more of me. More of my kind. We used to rule across the East Asias. That is until humans arrived.
So what happened? Was it gradual?
It was fairly gradual. We didn't have a standing army. We weren't an empire. We weren't something beyond amazing. We just were. And humans gave such tasty meat. She puts one hand against the glass, and you can see tiny little cracks start to form as she pushes.
Whoop! So Eloise jumps up, backs away, and
Oh, that was something you
actually,
could do against illusions.
I was gonna say she's actually gonna go forward after her initial shock and touch the glass to see if she can actually feel any cracks.
There are no cracks. She is just shifting your perspective to make it look like she's trying to break out.
Wow, you did that through the telekill helmet. You're really strong.
She smiles. Imagine how strong I would be with my marble.
Your marble? Yeah, I've read about those. The ones you keep in your mouth. You lost yours?
It was stolen from me.
Stolen by whom?
That fool of a man. Thought he could become one like me. Use my powers against me to slay me. How dare you bring him up in my presence?
With all due respect, ma'am, you brought him up.
A flash of her nine tails from behind her.
Okay, I got it. I wouldn't want to talk about an ex either. So, are there any more of you left of the Gumiho?
She lets out a long breath and is immediately back in control of herself. No, I'm the last one. I'm so lonely. I have no sisters to talk to anymore. And those who share my blood amongst the humans are so weak that none of them even realize what gift they would have. Do you understand what it's like to lose all that you are, to be the last of your kind?
No.
And to spend it trapped in a box with dogs on the outside. I hate dogs.
Yes, I'm sure it must get lonely.
It gets very lonely.
Do you ever... Well, I heard sometimes when people get lonely, they start to hear things. Voices, they make friends with coconuts. You haven't heard any voices, have you?
I have not made friends with coconuts or heard any strange voices. No, not at all. I love what you've done with your hair, by the way. It's very pretty.
Oh, thank you. It was, something my mom used to do.
I would love to braid it. How about you come inside? Maybe we can get to know each other just a little bit better.
Eloise is gonna do a little skip hop backwards away from the window. Nope, sorry, no can do. Well,
Such clever prey.
You've been very informative. Thank you for all of your help, ma'am. She gives a slight bow and then turns and runs out of the room.
All right, away.
And she's gonna start heading over to fucking 035.
035. Yay. So you are, despite having to put on the telekill helmet, you have to put on a hazmat suit just because of how dangerous his cell is alone. Before you enter, a D class is put in before you. And he is left alone with the mask. The mask box is left open. D class looks at the observation window and goes, so there's a mask in here. What do you want me to do with it?
Well,
It's so pretty. I want to put it on. He starts walking up towards the box.
oh God, there's got to be a more humane way to do this. Oh, wait.
The D class is not waiting, but he is reaching into the box. The researcher who's in the room with you goes, what is it? What do you have?
Well, it said that the mask can control anything humanoid, right? I mean, can't we just put it on a mannequin or something?
A mannequin doesn't guarantee proper cooperation. Apparently, it prefers a human host.
Of course it does. Did this guy at least do something really nasty to end up here?
From what I understand, he is involved in a child smuggling ring. Human trafficking.
I really hoped that would make me feel better, and for some reason it doesn't.
All right, so the man reaches into the box, pulls out the mask, and puts it to his face. Gives a quick convulsion. I need you to make an insanity roll watching somebody die.
Mm-hmm. She rolled a 71, but my sanity's 80, so...
All right. You lose... Jeez. You
Wait,
lose
your
I
one.
sanity is
rolled under
80?
my sanity. Yeah,
You rolled
sanity's...
you rolled
Yeah.
under it. Oh,
Yeah.
never mind then.
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
said you rolled over it.
No.
All right. The mask is put on, and it turns to look at you and goes, "I am ready for my performance." He walks to the other side of the cell and takes a seat at a chair, and you're allowed to enter if you wish.
I can talk to him from out here, though.
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Let's go with that. So, SCP-035. Do
Yes.
you have another name you prefer?
I prefer. There's some who call me Tim.
Tim.
Do not call me that.
Okay. So, sticking with 035 then?
Yes, that would be just fine.
So, the type of mask you're inhabiting, they date all the way back to ancient Greece.
Yes, that is correct.
So, is that when you first became bonded to the mask?
Bonding is such a interesting way of putting it, but it's not wrong.
Was this something that you intended? Attaching your consciousness to the mask, I mean, or was it something someone did to you?
You could say that it's the way that I've always been.
Oh,
But yet it's not how I should be.
so you never had a human body then?
I have one right now.
No, I mean one that was yours.
Well, if now we're just playing semantics here. Technically, I own this body now. I wear it, or it wears me at least. But it will never truly be mine now, will it?
So, sorry, I get that it's semantics, but I guess what I'm asking is, were you born in a human body?
No. No, I was not born a human.
I see. I found this book. It mentions your mask in it, and in it, it also mentions, or, well, depicts another item, an amulet. And the consciousness that currently inhabits that amulet used to be a human, so that was why I asked.
Yes, the amulet of immortal life. How is Dr. Bright doing nowadays? I heard that he was the one who got a hold of the amulet in the end. Ever since that fool cultist who thought he could pull it off did the ritual wrong.
As far as I know, he's fine. I haven't met him personally.
Nah, I think you would enjoy him. He has a similar style to your hair color.
Oh. Okay, sorry, questioning. Have you heard of the Hanged Man play?
The Hanged Man. I believe you're actually referring to the Hanged King's Tragedy.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Give me just a second. I have something for him to quote here. Because I'm supposed to get... If I was better with my notes, I would have this at the ready.
Speaking of notes.
Yep. God damn it, I don't have it ready, do I? Let's see here. I am very well familiar with the play. You say that it is very inspirational to me.
I see. What part do you find inspirational, if I might ask?
Oh, it's a story of love and loss, of betrayal, of
And-
madness, of justice, of murder.
And it
Very
tends to end in a mass sacrifice?
Ah, yes. Isn't that the best way for things to end? I mean, it's not a tragedy if somebody doesn't die in the end.
Not necessarily true.
Oh, you're such a sweetheart, so innocent, aren't you? You have no idea what you're being brought into, do you?
Perhaps not. You could always enlighten me.
What would you like to know?
What is Algata?
Algata. Well, the Foundation already knows this. Algata is a place where there is knowledge, where there is passion. Algata is the place to be and the place to not to be. Algata is eternal.
I see. Okay, well, what about the ambassador or the lords? Do they live in Algata?
Yes, Algata is where the ambassador is from. After all, he is the ambassador of Algata. As for the lords of Algata, there are 4 of us.
4. I translated 3. Hubris, vanity, wisdom. What's the 4th?
I'm trying to get my notes.
And which are you, if you don't mind my asking?
So, I am the Lord in black. I am Hubris. Of course, I could just be lying to you and throwing you through a wild goose chase. A wise man once said in a story that I much admire that if I was to have an origin story, I would prefer it to be multiple choice.
That's clever. Though, even if you are lying, sometimes you can learn truths by the lies people choose to tell, too.
You're a very smart child.
Well, I did grow up in a library.
Ah, yes, the Wonderverse Library.
You know it?
I've been there once or twice. And nothing on Alexandria, of course, back in its prime. Or at least what Alexandria could be. Or maybe the Wanderer's Library is what Alexandria must be. It's hard to tell who inspired who
So, if you've lived with humanity this long, what are your impressions?
A little bit of good, a little bit of bad. You're a very interesting group of people. So much art, so much culture, so much wonder, a lust for power, a lust for wonder, a lust for, well, lust. I find you very relatable.
Relatable, because again, you claim that you were never human.
Never was, never will be, never will be again. Thus, my price to the ambassador has been paid.
Price to the ambassador?
There's always a price.
To what, though?
Why, to the Hanged King, of course. I
Is-
made that deal with those creatures, and I have now paid for it, and now I am here.
So, are the Hanged King and the ambassador the same entity? Why would
No.
you owe both?
The ambassador is the will of the Hanged King. The Hanged King is the prisoner of the ambassador. I made a deal with a group of creatures that outsmarted me in the end.
What manner of creatures?
He starts to laugh a little bit. Why, the creatures that killed the Greeks, of course.
Killed the Greeks.
Did you really think the Romans were the ones who took down Alexandria? The burned Crete to the ground, washed it away in a tidal wave of death and destruction? Where do you think the inspirations for Hera, Zeus, Hades, Poseidon come from? They must be real at some point, or at least some sort of creature that resembles them.
So, you claim that you made a deal with the Greek gods.
Or at least something similar to them.
Well, I see why you call yourself hubris then.
Let me ask you, have you ever read the Chronicles of the Davites?
No, I haven't.
I think you should read to it. You'll find it very enlightening.
One more question. Your ability to manipulate those around you, to put on the mask, make them hear voices, that sort of thing. How far does your mental manipulation go? What's the extent of your power?
I don't know. It almost grows, well, the longer you wear those telekill items to protect your head.
I see. You're referring to the greenhouse effect that's noted in the file.
That is correct. I grow stronger the longer I wait. The longer you take to build your perfect containment for my powers, the stronger I grow.
So, in theory, could you... actually, never mind. It's been lovely speaking to you, Mr. Mask, sir. I'm afraid I have to go now. She's gonna exit the room and make a beeline for Clef's office.
All right. So as you go, he calls out to you. You have a good day. Say hello to your mother for me. And then he's going to rip the mask off his own face and put it back into the box, causing the body to collapse to the floor dead.
Damn.
And that's where we're going to have to end it for tonight.
Hooray!
Lots of stuff got dumped there at the end.
So much.
So much. So much.
Eloise is going to have a bad time.
I told you it's going to be a bad time for you, that character.
I feel like he just saw how much theory crafting I did last game and was like, okay, give her all the things to research.
Yes. So now you got to look into the Davites and all that sort of collection and the Alligata.
You're just going to lose sanity from all the research alone.
Right?
You are going to lose sanity. Eloise is going to be fine. But like I said, it's time for us to go. Thank you guys for coming. It's always fun to get to play for you. Thank you to the wonderful chat. I hope you enjoyed. And gosh, I'm a little tired. I didn't take a nap before the game.
Yeah, we've been going for like 3 hours, so yeah.
All right. I am Dr. Crow. I read a book once, and it's my job to secure, contain, protect. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.